And sometimes you know you've done a good audition. You know, you can see the look on the director's face that you've done a good audition, and you also know you haven't got the part.
Welcome everybody to a very special episode of Watch Ross, the Dark Money Roundtable. Yes, we are back in Hackenbacker Studios. Thank you so much to Nigel Heath for letting us use these studios again. Huge shout out to you, Brad, for helping us with this setup today. Very excited about what we're going to produce. We're going to be recording the very first ever Acts on This TV Roundtable podcast, okay? And the reason I couldn't tell you what episode number of Watch Ross this is because I don't know when it's going to go out, and that's because it's tied to a very special drama. By the time this hits YouTube, hopefully you guys will have just spent the last 4 nights fully engrossed in a brand new BBC drama called Dark Money, an incredible show starring Jill Halfpenny, Babu Cisse, an incredible cast. It's around a family called the Menza family. Now, their son Isaac, like most of you guys watching, me and Petch, who's recording this today, is an actor, and he goes out to LA to film this incredible film. It's like he's completely smashed it, you know, living the dream. All is not as it seems though, as the producer abuses this little boy. The drama is all about really morals around accepting hush money to keep quiet and how this dark money can tear a family apart. Incredible drama, masterclass in acting, directing and casting. And I've got an absolute bloody treat for you lot today because we have got someone from each of those disciplines in with this podcast. Okay, we're going to have Jill Halfpenny here talking about what it was like as an actress to be in the show. Lewis Arnold, the director, what it was like to direct it. Victor Jenkins, incredible casting director, what it was like to cast it. It's going to be, I reckon, Petch, probably like the most rounded podcast we've ever done for Acts on This.tv. I'm super excited. Get over to Acts on This.tv. Join if you haven't joined already. Continue watching this vlog for a few excerpts of this podcast. The guys are on the way right now. I'm just ready, Petch. Are you ready?
Born ready.
He's born ready. Let's do it. First down, Jill Halfpenny in the house. How are you? Awesome to see you. Victor Jenkins, casting extraordinaire, in the house. Lewis Arnold, director legend, in the house. Are you just going off? Look how excited they are.
I'm going to begin with, and this is like, I mean, I don't really know where to begin. I've never done a round table like this, but let's just look at what point each of you saw the script for the first time and what it was that made you want to get involved with it, like, and, you know, at what point you found out you were attached, you were going to be involved with it. Who wants to start and kick us off?
I suppose that should be me, yeah. So I got sent the script by my agent. I'd met The Forge, who were the producers on the job a year previously, and they're a really great company, and I really wanted to work with them if the project was right. Got sent the script, which Levi had written episode 1, and he'd written a template which had a kind of rough overview of the first 4 episodes, or an idea of where he thought it would go, and read it and just loved the concept. I love the idea of, well, love is an odd word, but I really engaged and found the idea of a family who find out this horrific news and the fallout of that, and the decision whether to take the payout and the complications of that decision.
Yeah.
Incredibly rich from a dramatic point of view and a directing point of view. And it ticked a lot of boxes for me personally as a filmmaker. I read it and thought it was a great opportunity to do something very subjective, very emotionally driven through the characters, which is more like the films I've made in terms of Echo and Charlie Says. So I really engaged with it and thought the idea was really strong. And when I had a meeting and pitched my ideas, my thoughts on the script, and then got the job, a week or 2 after that, got told I got the gig. And then I spoke to Victor about it.
Yeah, so then Lewis sent the script through and again, loved it. It just so happened I'd also been doing development with The Forge on something else.
Right, okay.
So I think Lewis said my name to them and they were like, okay.
Which was unusual because usually you
yeah.
say Victor's name in a room and people
Like,
kind of.
yeah.
Like what? And you guys had obviously worked together on Humans before this. Like, is that
Broadchurch.
and Broadchurch, of course.
Although the
And
first time we
coming
worked
up.
together on Humans, we never actually met. I came in and
No,
did block
'cause Block
3, and
three,
it was
yeah.
all via. It's the strangest relationship I've ever had, where we cast all of my episodes of Humans, and we
Yeah.
never sat in a room. We never met, and we met at the rap party
Yeah.
for series 1. And then we then did series 2 together, and because I kicked that off, we were in the rooms together quite a lot.
Yeah,
and
because
then
block
we,
1, when you get to the third block or something, it's 8 episodes long. By that point, it's such a machine. You have to go so quickly. There's no time for the directors to come and sit with me in a room and do stuff. So it's all
Wow.
on tape.
well, and a lot of emails, but
I love email. Yeah,
So it's all just back and forth
Yeah.
electronically.
yeah.
and he's a lot prettier in the flesh. I'd imagine him to be much uglier when
Everyone
it's,
thinks I'm
you know.
about 60 years old.
Daniel Edwards once described Victor as the David Beckham of casting.
I like that. I like that.
That's what he says.
That's
So at what point then? So what point did you find out about this, Jill? So did you hear, Victor? You're just putting a list together with.
I think I was
you,
quite late
Lewis?
in the process, right? Am I right in thinking that you had quite a lot of?
Yeah, we
already had
cast
Max and-
well we basically, as soon as we started, we started looking for Max, and
Because you have to for
Isaac,
for
the
a
character of Isaac.
13 for a 13-year-old kid who carries a series. You have to start so far in advance, not just for talent pool basis, but also for legal terms.
course,
for
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get licensing, making sure the psych evaluation tests, because it's quite it's obviously hard subject matter. So there's a long round of processes to get to that point. So we did some pre-meets, and we did some meets with Lewis, and some recalls with Babu. So that was the kind of the first call. And the first call was actually meeting Babu.
Yeah, Seth started seeing the kids and
for-
then we
yeah.
saw the way Victor usually works is he brings a small group of people that he thinks are perfect for it, and then those people know it's only a small group of people you're seeing,
Right.
and then you meet those people in the room, and you if you have to see more, you see more, but you try to be much more targeted, so people know where they stand. I think it's just about clarity and honesty with the agents about what you're doing and your intentions.
How do you prep for your auditions? And also, just want to say, you mentioned Seth before. Just want to educate. Like, this is all about education for the actors. So Seth Mason's your casting associate.
Yes,
yeah?
he is. Yeah. It's been with me for 2 and a bit years now. And it's brilliant because it means that, I trust him implicitly to go off and do things like the kids casting is great because he can go off and do the search, and he can tell me who's been good and who's not. And again, with day players as well. And it's an invaluable part of the team.
Yeah, I mean, I work as closely with Seth as I do with you,
totally.
especially with the kids. When we did the recalls, me and Seth do those together because Seth's built up a rapport with them.
Yeah.
And his opinion is as important as Victor's. It's I think good casting directors have good associates who are an integral part of the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Seth's on Twitter, as well as all you lot are on Twitter. You should be following actors, definitely.
But I think that's a good thing. I think following associates who can bring you to casting directors are getting bombarded all the time by new actors all graduating every day. If you can become aware of the associates, you're more likely to get their time, them to look at your reel. So it's if you can find out who the associates are.
Well,
of
guess
all
what I've done, guys? If you go to atsonthis.tv/Twitter, I've created a list that's interactive. You just click the buttons on it, 33 of the casting directors and casting associates you must be following on Twitter.
That's amazing.
Get on it. Definitely. So how are you feeling when you read the script then, Jill? You're like, oh my God, this is way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I was really chuffed, but initially, even when I didn't think the role was that big, what I was really attracted by was the story.
Right.
Because, you get sent a lot of scripts and you have a lot of auditions and you read the breakdown of the story and, sometimes they work out better than they sound on page and sometimes the opposite way
All the
around.
way around,
But I remember reading the story brief for this and thinking, that's a really strong story. Like it's really compelling, the story. And I was like, okay, well, this could be really interesting. So, I just sort of prepare in the way that I would prepare for the role. Even when I'm just auditioning, I think about who she is, what journey she'll go on. I get as much information as I can off the casting director through my agent. And then I always then have to think to myself, because you can get yourself wrapped up in knots. Okay, so they've asked to see me, so there must be something about what I do or who I am that is right for this part. As I've got older, what I've realized is whether or not I think the character is near to who I am, what I realize is the director and the casting director think that. So whatever essence, whatever energy you bring off, whatever you bring to the screen, then that's what they're seeing. So I could read a character like Sam and say, I'm nothing like Sam, but I understand that there's something that I bring that they want a certain essence of whatever it is. And then I have to try and convince them that I would be the right person between
yeah.
however many they're auditioning. But I think that's what I've realized over the years, because sometimes, and I'm sure if actors are listening, they'll be able to relate to this, but sometimes you can get really frustrated by how the industry views you.
Yeah.
I'm not that. I'm much more interested than that.
I'm not
I could
just
be
a policeman.
baddie. Yeah. I'm not just mums, all of these things. And actually, I think what it usually is, correct me if I'm wrong, Victor, but there's an essence, there's an energy that somebody brings. And it's not to say that they can't bring different energies, but sometimes there's just a natural energy that somebody will bring to something or bring in a room. And you want that in that
Well,
part.
tell us, why did you bring Jill in?
Well,
Be honest with us.
It is about trusting us, and especially because we all have a relationship. We all did Humans together as well. So, that we know you, and it's about trusting that we see that thing as whether it be cast director and director or either or, and it's just being in the moment and not overthinking it as well. Because I think that's a trouble, that if people try and put a layer on top of the writing, it can all fall apart very, very quickly. And we want you to come in and just be natural and be you, and then we can tweak it. That's what he's there for. That's what the director's there for, is to give it a different performance. Or if there's no director in the room, that's what we are for. And I do strongly believe that's why we have director in our title, is that we do direct people in the room.
Yeah.
And I when we're in the room, we both will direct the performance.
Totally.
I mean, I'm a big fan of, I like to play. I mean, and you get wound up with me because
timings.
Yeah, we always run over because
10
I
minutes.
see casting as...
The director tweeted a couple of days ago, I wish I could tell all of the actors in the rooms who didn't get the part how good they were. Because like Lewis said, it's not about usually people kind of just being the best in the room. It's just about the person being right for it.
Yep.
And sometimes you've done a good audition. You can see the look on the director's face that you've done a good audition, and you also know you haven't got the part.
Yeah.
As you walk out the room, you think, I definitely haven't got that.
What was your gut telling you when you left?
I didn't think I had it.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. So they were really lovely and we had a really good chat. And at the end, Lewis said, oh, it's really nice to see you again, Jill. And he gave me a really lovely hug. Like, it was really warm and really friendly. And
not creepy.
Not creepy at all. Definitely not. And my friend called me and she said, how did it go? And I said, I had a really nice experience. I said, they gave me a lot of time. I said, and a lot of attention. And I really appreciate that. I said, but I haven't got it. And my friend said, why? And I said, because the director gave me a consolation hug at the end.
Oh,
and she went
funny?
Really, and so I just convinced myself. I was like, I think he felt like I did a good job, but ultimately I'm not right. And I completely got that wrong.
What was the conversation when Jill left the room, if you can let us into that?
And the next day for Jill, which was really difficult, we had to do Jill's big scene in episode 4 where she's confronted by the journalist, and she does she does the interview.
That's a big scene. Yeah. And you did that on what really early on?
We did, yeah. I mean, we had to for location reasons and all sorts. It wasn't ideal because we got the script a little bit later than we'd have liked, and
we were really nervous about that.
We were really nervous about that, yeah. And because it's Sam's big moment, and the journalist has to ask the questions that the audience are asking.
For a second, I thought it was going to turn. I thought, wait a minute, he's actually working for the other side, this journalist, because he starts almost putting you in it, going, Sam, have you let your son down? Why would you do that? Why have you taken the money? And I thought, shit, like maybe he's like an imposter. He's not trying to out Jotham.
No, I think what we felt as a team very early on, and we spoke to Levi about it, and hopefully what comes across is that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to watch this, my family, people not in the industry that don't understand filmmaking, that are going to have a real repulsion to the fact that they take this money.
Yeah.
So you have to be able at some point in this drama to ask the hard questions of them. And I think what we decided with Dominic was that, and what we tried to do was say, look, if you're a father and you're a journalist and you're trying to break this story because it's important to you, as not just as your journalistic integrity, but your integrity as a father, if you get the person that's helping you break this in front of you, you're going to try and do your job. You're going to try and be fair, but you're going to try and do your job.
Yep.
You have to ask the questions as a journalist that everybody else is asking.
Yeah.
You have to, regardless of how you feel about your subject. And that's what we thought. It's like, she has to be put under pressure. She has to be asked those questions because that's what people are shouting at the telly.
She answers them really well, though. Like, just honestly, you just again, vulnerability. You go, I never once, just as a viewer, and other people might be different, but never once felt like anything really negative towards the decision that they made. I get it. I mean, I think one of the best scene for me in episode 1 was that scene where you go, are you going to take the money or not? This offer is good for 5 minutes. You know, you've got £3 million check on the table. And it made me question, like, I sent you a text, Lewis, going, everybody's got their price, ? And I was thinking, what's my price? I mean, just genuinely on a human level, I don't have any kids, so I don't know what that emotional impact is like. You're a new father, Lewis. You know, have you got kids still? Or?
I do, yeah.
So you'll get it. I don't get any kids, Victor? No kids for me.
I don't think you need kids to empathise and understand that.
But I think maybe the connection is different when you go, well, if that was my own, there's no way I'd take any of that money. But I'm like, well, can I go up against this corporation?
Yeah.
They're also thinking about the child's wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well.
yeah. He didn't want anyone to know.
He doesn't want anyone to know, and I think that's part of the quandary. Is a battle of wanting to get justice.
Just come on, Mic a little bit, Victor.
Sorry, wanting to get justice and wanting to.
He wants the camera to see his face.
Yeah, it's hiding. Wanting to get the right thing for their son, but also looking after their son, and their son doesn't want anyone to know. So it's a choice of very, very evil things, two evils. Because if you don't, by taking the money, you can change his life
for the better.
Yeah.
If you can.
You
can give him a better quality of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, but if you don't do anything, and you don't take the money, and you don't do, what does that say?
Which they promised that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They'd said we're
It's
not.
such a
We're not going to go to court because then it will go public.
He's got to go to America.
Their choice was exactly what Victor just said: to do nothing, or to think actually this money could change our children's life. Both of our children's lives.
God, I mean, there's like over 10,000 acts in this community now who regularly interact with stuff, and there's a lot of them. I mean, at so many different stages of the career right now. So there'll be some people just leaving drama school, some people just going at drama school. People have been out a few years and are still pedaling and not even had the first TV credit yet, and they're really like lacking in feeling enough because like, I still haven't had this. What's going on? Everyone ultimately would love to be working on shows like this. I'm just wondering, like, one piece of advice. And I hate these questions again. That like one piece of advice. There is not one piece of advice that's going to make everything suddenly click for people. But just maybe from your own experience, Jill. You've been in the industry a long time, working on incredible stuff. You've got a lot of experience. Like, what would you just say in general to these people who aspire ultimately to be playing roles like Sam and having that much to do on dramas like this? And then we'll go around again, Victor, what you would want to say to every actor who's listening in terms of like something that might help them at the next casting, and then for you, Lewis, whatever you want, mate. But
I would say that.
Are we on? Wow. Right, guys, thank you so much. That was literally the first roundtable for ActsOnThis.tv. You've just seen, I don't know even what you've seen. There was so much in it. I don't know what I'm going to cut into the actual edit. If you want to listen to the full thing, it's about an hour and 20 minutes long of pure gold about how these guys basically created, Dark Money, the incredible show that I'm hoping you've seen. ActsOnThis.tv, go get your membership, go check it out. We're going to get kicked out of the studio in about 5 minutes. So very quick question, right? There'll be people who have just watched the vlog, and this has whetted their... It's a weird word, that, isn't it? Whetted their appetite. I think that's how you say it. I like just whetted, but most people go whet. It's whetted their appetite for Dark Money, and they're going to be like, I've no idea who Manny is, who's Sam, who's Isaac, what's going on here? It's still on iPlayer if you are watching this vlog before the end of like July 2019, I'm guessing around about then. Please go look it up, go get it, go watch it on DVD. I don't know, find it somewhere. But I just want you guys to give like 30 seconds of why they should go and do that. Who wants to start, Lewis?
Pressure. I think it's an incredibly relevant drama that taps into a lot of themes that are happening in the world right now in terms of Me Too, which sounds obvious, but I think it does, but on a very human level and a very relatable level. The Mentzers, who are the family the show is based on, are a working class family from North London who I think we can all relate to, or many of us can relate to. I think for that, I think it's interesting to see this story in a world that normal folks, my mum, my dad, my family will find accessible, hopefully. That didn't make any sense. Jill will do a much better job.
I think if you want to watch something that is going to give you the inevitable water cooler moment of what would you do, then watch Dark Money. Have a chat with your friends and probably have lots of arguments or good, healthy debate.
No pressure, Victor.
It's a really well acted, really well directed, very good show.
And it should win a BAFTA for casting.
It should win a BAFTA for casting director. There's not enough BAFTAs. There's no BAFTAs for casting directors. We need to figure this out. All location managers. Yeah, and the locations in Dark Money are freaking amazing. I don't know what like that hotel was that's in Ep 4. It looks like something completely out of the future. It looks amazing.
It was an office.
Now there's a secret. There you go.
Holmore Row in Birmingham.
Wow, it looked like it was like a super futuristic hotel. Amazing. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been the first roundtable of many. I don't know like how we raise the bar from here. I want to thank you again for just being here. It honestly means the world, like I said in the podcast, that you keep coming back. Obviously doing something right. So appreciate it. We'll be back very, very soon as well for the next episode of Watch Ross. I don't know what episode number this is, so I don't know what the next one's going to be. But keep watching, hit subscribe, reach out. Social media's up on the screen right now. Let these people know you've seen this and that we all appreciate them. You know the catchphrase, guys. I know you don't want to do it, but I'm going to make you do it anyway. In 3, 2, bye for now, bye for now. In 3, 2, 1, bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now. Very excited about what we're going to produce today. We're going to be doing one of many, I guess, but the first Acts on This TV. No, bullshit, Petch. This is the one.